Okay. Um, Good afternoon. My name is, um, if you're listening to this, then you probably know who I am. If not, I am the brainchild behind VegFest TV, Elegance on Any Budget, Twisted Fork Festivals, For Momentum.us, and quite a few others that I'm not, can't come to mind right now. So this is VegFest TV Origins. It's going to be all the way back at the beginning where I was introduced to vegan. So this is probably going to be a little bit long. Uh, just wanted to get the information out there because I've been asked a few questions. So let's get started. Um, I am 43. Today is my birthday, 11/27/77. I was raised vegan by my mother, who is still vegan. At 5 years old, we became vegan. Around 12, she told me that I could have a choice to be vegan or not. And of course, I stuck with the family and chose to be vegan. In college, I changed, so on and so forth. Year 2000 is when I created Elegance on Any Budget. Elegance on Any Budget is my event company that I've had since my son was born in 2000. I wanted an opportunity to stay at home with him and do something I love. So for about 6 months, I got a piece of paper and I wrote down everything I enjoyed to do, everything, the colors I loved, everything I enjoyed, and added that up and what industry would fit the things that I enjoy. Because if you enjoy what you do, then as you know, you don't go to work. Elegance on Any Budget was created that year. I did weddings up until 2016. 2016. For 16 years, I did just weddings, birthday parties, divorce parties, things like that. 2016 is when I flipped over to food trade shows. 2016 was our very first, which was the African Expo, University, Unity and Diversity, uh, which was the first time that I became into the vegan food arena, so to speak. Um, so we had an African Expo. Because I was raised around so many vegans and cooks and chefs of that nature, I wanted to give them a platform. So we had about 30 vendors at a place called Gooch Place, which is an event hall in Madison, Alabama. At the time, I was working at the event hall as their on site event planner coordinator. So I wanted something that would showcase the community, bring people together, because the community we were in was not as diverse. So I wanted to be a nice blend. So African Expo was our first one. 33 vendors. It was amazing. We had all different nationalities from all different. We had people to come back be vendors all the way from New York. An amazing group, an amazing group, and that started it. And that next year, I had two caterers. One was HHK, which you know is Emmanuel Chef Smith, amazing vegan chef, has the best vegan butter like in the world. And Parker Burgers. Parker Burgers, from my understanding, originated in Alabama, and he had a burger place here that was completely vegan. Those two, I really wanted a place to showcase them as well as the event hall I was at. I figured if I could get a group of individuals to taste this food, so people don't know that vegan is not just grass. Because of the boom now, everyone knows that. But before, people had no concept of vegan and how what it tasted, that kind of thing. So I wanted them to see give my caterers that I knew a platform to do that. And so a free event at an event hall and showcasing caterers I knew, that sounded like a no-brainer. So Twisted Fork was a name that I've had for a while. Um, I've always wanted to use it because it was just awesome to me. And Twisted Fork Festival was formed that year at Gooch Place. That's where we're going to showcase it. I ended up getting fired from Gooch Place that year, the year of the event. We had a few months to the event. We had several hundred people coming and no place to have it. So we drove around and saw a fabric store that was empty. And my son, being my son, who was 16, wanted to go to GameStop. And then he was like, well, why don't you go there? I said, you can't get a department store. He said, why not? Just a footnote, my mother is the epitome of why not. Her motto was always ask, because you never know. So I called 1,500 square feet, an old event center, and they said yes. So Twisted Fork Festival was in that building for several years. 2016 was our very, very first year. And let me see, 2016 or 2017? I just want to make sure I got it right. November 2017 was our very first year. It was absolutely amazing. We had over 600 people for our very first event in Alabama, which blew my mind because it just blew my mind. And people had such a good time. And I love hearing people and the stories, and it was always free. All of our events were supposed to be free because I want people to come and just get a concept, to see something different. Because you don't even know it's possible until you see it. Like you have to see it and taste it. And so that was my goal. All my vendors had to have something free. Even whatever you wanted to charge is completely up to you, your sales tax, whatever, but you had to have something. I needed people to walk away with something. Like I never would have noticed that. And I've never would have tasted that. And that first year was astounding. It was so awesome that we were only going to do it once a year. But they asked us to do it again. Was that the first one? I'm looking at my events on Facebook because I want to make sure that I get the dates right, because I don't remember. I want to make sure. So the first one in 2017. And I think we did it again in that April. Yeah, because the second April we did VegFest. Yeah, so that first one, we did it again in April. After that, it blew. And my family was, because I had absolutely, oh, and my battery. See, obviously this is not something I do. Let me check my power. Okay, sorry. Okay, so as you can tell, definitely not hugely professional as far as videoing because I have no idea what I'm doing. This is very uncomfortable, but the cool thing is it's just me and a camera. So anyway, 2017, first Twisted Fork, and then we had a second one in April. And after that, we just started going. I want to make sure that I'm telling the truth. University. Yes. And then we had our second, 2016, we had African Expo. 2017, November, we had Twisted Fork and African Expo in the same month, which was never do two events same month back to back. That was not okay. The third year, we did a Twisted Fork in April. We did a Twisted Fork in April, and that was in Huntsville. And that year, that was 3 in 1 year. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. If it was not for my family, that one definitely would have fell apart. That one was a lot. And we also had a few challenges because being soft-hearted, I had vendors that didn't pay as any event. You're like, oh, just let them come because you know people are going through things. It was challenging. And I really wasn't thinking about making money. And I understand that. I know. I wasn't thinking about making money. The event was free. The vendors helped pay for all the t-shirts and all of the marketing and everything. And I didn't anticipate me making money because I had 2 or 3 other jobs. So the event wasn't about that. It was just about getting it out there. And it was just an awesome event. Fast forward, we're like maybe 2 or 3 years in, and 2019, um, 2019 was a hard year with Twisted Fork. We had a venue. Lost the venue. Interesting enough, we went back to Gooch Place. We ended up doing it there. It worked out. We had people. Of course, the place was a lot smaller because we have grown, and it was a little bit congested. Some of the vendors didn't get seen. We had a lot of elements. I tried to fly a young lady from New York to do fitness in the morning because people were asking me that. And then we tried to do a cooking class from a lady who had a vegan cooking class, a school in Georgia. And it was a lot of too many elements too fast. Yeah, it was big, and it got too big. But I jumped ahead. So sorry. Back 2016, 17, we started getting calls. So we did Twisted Fork in Wisconsin. We did Twisted Fork in Texas. Texas was interesting. Texas was supposed to be little. It was supposed to be like 4 or 5 vendors. It was supposed to be little because Texas is like, meat capital, long. I just didn't anticipate. I didn't look at Dallas, but the city I was in was Killeen. It was tiny. And we ended up with 600 people. And the venue I had picked was too small. And it became a massive thing. And the VIP was supposed to be small. VIP became big. We had to stretch it. People didn't get all the stuff they deserved. I have been rectifying that. I'm not sure. I have to double check and make sure that everybody was taken care of. It was just it got larger. I guess I underestimated the vegan population in those areas. But we went from Wisconsin. We had Twisted Fork, Wisconsin, Twisted Fork, Scottsboro, Twisted Fork, Kansas City. I forgot about Kansas City. We did a vegan film festival in Kansas City. We did Twisted Fork in uh, Wisconsin twice, Texas twice, Kansas City once, Scottsboro once. Um, and around our third year, Birmingham vegans approached us. And it was funny because about a year before, I had realized that Alabama had never had a Veg Fest. There are only a few states in the United States that have not had a Veg Fest. And I thought that was interesting. Like, placement, like God places you here, not even thinking about this, but no one has done it. And we're like, what? This is awesome. But of course, I'm like, I think big, but I was like, the state? Like, I don't know if we can do the state. And of course, my family is amazingly encouraging. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Then Birmingham Vegans approached us and was like, hey, uh, we want to know if you will do the Veg Fest. And I was like, just completely vegan? Because my events are vegan vegetarian, for the reason of back in the day, vegans had a bad name of being very aggressive and not friendly. Because it was just, I don't know. I think the message just got, sometimes the message got crossed. So I was telling them, they were like, well, we want you to do this. And I said, if we do, my whole platform is that I want to educate, but educate in love. I want people to know. And they were like, of course, they were all about that. And they were like, we just want to be a part of it. Um, and so I talked it over with the people that help me every year. And they said yes. And so we met with the Birmingham vegans a couple of times. And the first one was awesome. Tropicaleo was our venue. They were awesome. They were a great spot. We ended up wrapping around doing indoor and outdoor, but because of the wind, they even the complex allowed us to use one of the empty stores that happened to be empty at that time. Again, God's providence. Um, and they allowed us to utilize that empty space during that time. So it was just great. Lines were long, but it was great. It was great. We had a little over 2,000 people, and just coming from the first event, the Air African Expo of 200 people, to this event that was a little over 2,000 in just a matter of 5 years was just astounding to me. It was just wow. Um, that being said, projection of moving forward this year, COVID. So this to be our largest year, that we were going to get up there with the big dog Veg Fest people, hopefully hit like 5,000. I really wanted five, maybe 5. Nothing, just a little bit bigger. That was our goal, and COVID-19. So with COVID-19 hitting and the momentum that we had developed thus far, marketing had to be, timing was crazy. Timing was impeccable. And I mean, not impeccable. Timing needed to be impeccable. Um, so we had a few creative conflicts with me and my team regarding timing and pushing things out. Um, in that time, because of the crunch and the platform in which things had to take place, VegFest TV was developed. The concept of VegFest TV was YouTube and Netflix had a baby that was raised by Food Network. if that makes sense. So YouTube and Netflix had a baby that was raised by Food Network. So the concept was a digital streaming platform, because I'm all about my vendors. My vendors are key. I've been a vendor. Vendors come to make money. If they can't make money, there's no purpose in being at your event. All of my vendors are small businesses. I had Costco once. I think we had Sprouts grocery store once. I think we had maybe a few. It is my birthday, and my son has just bought me something that's completely awesome. Thank you, Buddha Buddha. And sorry, the mom thing. So I'm about my vendors, and I wanted a platform where digitally, say they're preparing preparing a food, or if they're a food truck or whatever, they're doing something. At that moment, I wanted something to come across the screen where you could click on it and purchase what they were making, or either purchase what they're talking about. Right? So I wanted it to be in real time, and I wanted it to be easy. And the language, trying to get people to understand that in the matter of 3 months and market it and actually have a viable platform, was insane. But who my father is, my Heavenly Father, is amazing, because not only did we do it, we had our reach hit Italy, Australia. We had people that tapped into our platform around the world. I'm so excited. Now, that being said, I didn't have the participation that I wanted, because I had my core vendors who were amazing, but I didn't have the volume of people, because I want every vendor that has a voice, that's into anything natural, or into natural healing, natural alternatives, natural food. I want them to be able to be a part of this platform, and I want them to do it for free. Back in the beginning of 2020, making challenging decisions, I lost my house. I lost my house. Everybody's not going to understand your dream. Everybody's not going to understand your passion. They're not going to understand it. And there could have been some better management, but I poured so much into Twisted Fork, so much into the VegFest. I poured so much. Because I know it's an amazing thing. And I know that people need a platform where they can showcase what they can do. Because I've come across so many people that are amazing at what they do, but they don't know how to show it. They don't know how to show it. We had people in our African Expo that first year, we had people that had only been in business a year or a month. Their platforms have now exploded. We have people that have started their own events after Twisted Fork. Do you remember the 4-minute mile? I always talk about this. The 4-minute mile. The first guy who ran it, and my brain is completely jacked. The 4-minute mile. And before then, everybody was like, oh, your heart's going to blow up. You can't do that. You can't read that. You can't run that fast. But after him, everybody did it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some people have to see it. And I see it. And I did it. And I put everything I had into it and still have. And I had to move in and take a tiny apartment and, from the house, and that, so be it. If God bless, maybe I'll buy the house back one day. Anyway, I digress. That's not the point. The point is, VegFest TV was Netflix and YouTube had a baby that was raised by Food Network. I want people to be able to see the thing that they're ordering. I want them to interact with the vendor, as in a video, a thing. I want them to interact, be able to click on the thing. Whether they ship it to you, whether you're in another country, whether you're here locally and do pickup. I want that interaction. I want the event interaction digitally, and it can be done. And we started it, and we're going to finish it. By 2022, I want every VegFest to have a platform to have a voice on our platform. I want them to be visible. I want every VegFest around the world to be connected in one space where I can come here. And I know that when I come here, I can find either an entrepreneur or somewhere to find alternative medicine or whatever the case may be on this one platform. And that is our goal. VegFest TV is going to be the universal platform. That is my mother. It's going to be the universal platform for all things health. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm a vegan vendor and I'm here. Vegan is an all-inclusive for health. People are vegan for the animals. They are vegan for health. They are vegan because their God told them to. They are vegan because whatever the case may be. But VegFest TV is going to be a platform for everybody. This was a lot quicker than I anticipated, which I'm very glad. I'm very nervous, but thank you so much for participating. If you would like to see VegFest TV continue, just donate below. Donate from your heart. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if it's 50 cents. You donate from your heart. Or just pray for us. Prayer can go longer and farther than your dollar ever could. I am excited about what's coming in 2021 with VegFest TV. This was just a concept, an idea in the beginning, and from concept to fruition in 3 months. That's awesome. VegFest TV. Stay tuned.